Adobe Firefly is the all-in-one creative studio with AI-powered image and video editing for today's creative process. Built for creators of every kind, Firefly helps you generate, edit, and experiment fast. Because the asks aren't getting smaller, the budgets aren't getting bigger, and the timelines, oh yeah, still tight. With all the best creative AI models in one place, Firefly brings your ideas to life. Unlock a better way to make with Adobe Firefly.
This episode is brought to you by Orgain. Orgain creatine monohydrate helps improve muscle size, strength, and power when combined with a regular exercise and weight training routine. It supports brain health, and it's certified with informed choice, so you can compete with confidence. Studies show that creatine may support brain health in vegetarians and aging individuals. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Hi, Dumpster Divas. Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. And today I am joined by a new friend of the Dumpster, Chase from No Chaser TV. No Chaser is like where you can get all your news. You can get the news about the girls, you can get the news about the tea, you can get the tea from the podcast, and Chase's boots on the ground with everything that's happening on all the shows that we love. Chase, I'm so happy to have you here in the Dumpster. Welcome.
Thank you. Now, let me just say, first of all, hey, Dumpster Divas. I love a good diva, right? I love it. See how diva, right? Thank you
A diva.
for having me. Explain to me the dumpster lore, please.
Yeah, so when I was creating the show like forever ago, I was like, I love trash TV. How can we just reclaim trash as our treasure? And that was Dumpster Dive, and we're Dumpster Divas.
Period. I live. Okay, I just always wanted to know.
Period. I know. It's like, it's not confusing. It's like people are like, wait, what is the show about? Because oh my God, I was at this party recently, and a friend of mine is an upcycling designer, or like a new friend. And so I was introducing myself, we were chatting, and he was like, what do you do? And I was like, well, I'm in between jobs right now, but my like passion project is a podcast called Dumpster Dive. And he was like, wait, I love that. All I do is upcycle clothes. Like I'm always looking for like trash to like make into something more. I was like, oh, see, no, that's not what I do. I talk about reality.
No. We're not jumping. No. We're not diving.
Congrats on that. Congrats on you upcycling, but that's not my zhuzh.
We're Dumpster Divas, not Dumpster Divas. Okay.
Right. Correct. Well, tell everyone if they don't know about No Chaser TV. I mean, I feel like you're all over the interwebs these days.
It's so crazy, right? So I have been doing this kind of work in some form or fashion since I was 16. I started out, I was a huge professional wrestling fan as a child. And I started out covering super like weird niche, but started out covering Japanese professional wrestling when I was 16 and translating the results from Japanese to English on an English language website. So I have been doing that. But I always loved pop culture. I always loved MTV, The Real World, Road Rules, all of those things. And I always wanted to be an MTV VJ, right? So it was like, okay, I want to transition into pop culture. And I started writing for that Grape Juice and a couple other places. And then I appeared, gosh, it's been 10 years ago this year, actually. 10 years ago, I appeared I moved to Atlanta, right? So I moved to Atlanta in 2014, and I started working for Lisa Nicole Cloud of Married to Medicine, right? And this is the season when Lisa and Quad were going at it, and what about your lesbian relationship? That season.
Iconic scene.
So if you look at some of those episodes, I'm in them a little bit, but through that, loving reality TV, loving pop culture, being around it, I started working for places like that Grape Juice, and I did a panel show for the Shade Room called The Roommate Talk, and from there started doing the morning show in Atlanta, and all things kind of happened, and then it just screeching came to a halt. I got really depressed, and honestly, the opportunities that came to me were amazing opportunities. I auditioned for Love and Hip Hop, which I didn't get, thank God, right? But like all of these things are happening and they came to a halt. but I wasn't ready for them. The work ethic did not match the opportunity, like, you know, and I beat myself up for it, over it for a while. But then COVID happened, and I discovered Clubhouse, and I started going back and joining the Clubhouse panel reviews for the housewives and everything. And from there, found my way to YouTube. And so I've been working for people and doing things for other brands for quite some time. And I was like, you know what? I had an offer on the table to do my own podcast through someone else, right? And I was like, you know what? If I don't give it a shot now, everybody's making money off of the void, like what I'm doing, right? But me, like I was not making any money. And everybody was making money. And I was like, you know what? If they can make money and I can help them do that, then maybe I could do it for myself. So No Chaser TV started in 2024, and it's just been a blessing. I love what I do. I enjoy it. It is taxing. This season of The Real Housewives of Atlanta has been the most drama that I've ever seen anywhere from anyone. It's a constant on-the-go job, but I love it. And I hope that when people see it on the social media side or listen to it on the podcast side, or even listen to what I'm going to say with you here, everything that I say is with love. Like, I love this, and I love what we do and what we get to watch and how we get to contribute to the fabric of our shows that we love.
Yeah, that's a good. I agree. I think everyone. It's all love is where all of the discussions and recaps and all of that come from. Just remember that. And you also, some people need to bring a little bit more levity and love and humor to the comment section. I just think some people take things so seriously, and they think their opinions are so like unflappable and just like this is the truth. And it's like, we're just here to like have a little fun. So I agree with that. I actually really liked what you said though about the work ethic not necessarily meeting the opportunity. I feel like we've all been in places like that in life. I know I have. There's been moments in my life where like I was a just absolute mess, and there were things that I didn't really bring my all to. But you know, in the end, like I think that it all you end up where you are, and you're in this spot right now with No Chaser, and it all lined up perfectly.
Yes, thank you. You said something about the comments, and I, being that, like, I feel like I do everything with love, right? I feel that I get disheartened. I don't even try to read my comment section. I get disheartened sometimes by it because it's like I'll post something and that is not how I meant it. You know what I mean? And people just take it and run with it and say what they want to say and do it, you know, do what they will with it. And it is super disheartening because I am actually like a really kind person. I don't take, can we cuss?
Yeah, of course. Say whatever you want.
I don't take no shit, but I am a really kind, fun-loving person.
Yeah.
So when I see sometimes the comments, I'm like, that's not nice, y'all. Come on. So I wish that people would stop trying to be the star. And I think that's what it is. Everybody wants to be the star. Everybody wants to get the hit tweet. Everybody wants to get the likes. Everybody wants to get the engagement, the follows, the attention. And everybody's a star in their own right. But I think that building up your star, being unnecessarily harsh, it's not the way that you want to build that foundation. So I would hope that people just kind of re-examine the things that they say, because those girls or those participants on those shows are in our comment sections. They are reading the things that you say. And the reason why I don't censor more is because they say I'm about everybody. Some people have more fans than others, but everybody gets bashed, unfortunately, and I just hate that that's part of the game. I do.
Yeah, and I have some friends. One of my good friends was on Drag Race a couple seasons ago. I went to college together, and she just still gets a ton of haters in her DMs that just want engagement. That will tell her the most insane things about like she should go take her own life or things like that. And then she'll respond and be like, please go away. And then they will comment back and say, oh my God, I love you. I just said that because like I was having a bad day. And it's like, no, you just said that because you wanted attention. So I think what you want in this is that you just want to hear these famous reality television personalities engage with you. That way you can actually get at them. And people will do anything to get attention these days, truly.
Yes. Because they're sitting home and they're watching a reality star and say, oh, I would have said it like this. Let me go get into it so I could show the girls how it's done.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, no.
No. And the thing is, a lot of the people that have comments on who's a star and who's not don't have star quality themselves. Okay. So let's leave it to the stars to decide who's a star or not.
Well, there it is.
Well, we're going to chat about this reunion part 1 of Atlanta. Before we get to that, though, what's your overall thoughts on this season of Atlanta? Have you been enjoying yourself?
I love the season. The biggest critique is, and it's one that I noticed in Potomac, but I called it out in Potomac in real time because I was privy to some information. We can balance it a little bit more. It's okay. We can deal with a little personal storyline. We can deal with that, guys. It's okay. We're not going to call the show boring because we get personal story every now and then from more than one lady that they choose to follow at a time or whatever. I would have liked more personal story, and I thought that it got a little dark, which I don't really want for this group, but overall, I enjoyed it. Initially, I was pretty harsh on it, but with the reunion now, I'm giving it like a 7.5 or an 8. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
You know, something that Taria and I talk a lot about, I know that you know Taria, we love Taria, is like we gotta let sometimes these ladies just cook a little bit, like, and we can't be so quick to get rid of someone just because they are annoying. You know what I mean? I mean, Shamia and Kelly are a bizarre duo, okay? And I love Kelly, but Shamia I like struggle with, obviously, because of, you know, like the way she moves on the show is just tough sometimes. But that doesn't mean she needs to go. It just means that she should continue, as long as she's okay being maybe the villain or, you know, like being in the hot seat, like continue to stay on the show. It makes her good TV. So it's like, we can't be that upset. We can't just constantly be like, get rid of her. Everyone thinks they're a casting director these days. They're like, we got to clean sweep. We got to wipe the cast. We got to start fresh. It's like, what are you talking about? Like, Kenya Moore sat in the villain seat for so long on or like season 5 through 8 or 9 of Atlanta. And she was comfy in that, and she liked it, and they kept her around for that. Like, we can't just get rid of people because they, you know, bug us or get in the hot seat.
I don't think Shamia wants to be the villain. I think that is why people are like confused. And here's the thing for me, and I know y'all gonna throw me right in the dumpster, child, when I say it, divas. But I don't think that she's always been all wrong, Shamia.
I agree. She is a hard opponent because her opponent is critically beloved.
Yes, but that was the same. I mean, Portia has always been beloved in every situation. People like Portia. The people want Portia. The people want P, right? And so anytime you go against her, you're going to be hard-pressed to defeat her. Kenya, hard-pressed to defeat her. Hell, Candy. And most people felt like Candy had the most legitimate reason, I think some people felt, right? And Candy was universally beloved as well at that time. Candy had a hard time against her. Shamia, most people went into this thinking Shamia had a legitimate reason, and it is flipped. And I don't think I've ever seen anything quite like that happen, right? And so she's just, you know, are you guys Family Guy watchers?
Yeah, I love Family Guy.
She's a shaboopy, a girl that's hard to beat. I've never thought about that. She's a shaboopy. Like, you're not, especially Portia had reunions. I've always said reunion Portia, like going into last season's reunion, there was still people that were like Team Drew, Team Shamia when it came to Portia last season. When it gets to reunion, she's like for my wrestling watchers, a Ric Flair, a Hulk Hogan, a Shawn Michaels. You're not beating her at a reunion.
Yeah, no, and she also, this doesn't help your cause at all. Like, she really turns out the look too. Like, it's just hard to take her down in any way. Like, not only is she delivering, she also looks absolutely unreal and like a movie star. And so it's just like, how do I defeat this person? Yeah, I agree that is the issue with Shamia, that she doesn't want to be the villain, but can't seem to get herself out of it. I think she just is playing, she's trying to play the show too much. And I think people just keep catching her in it. Like, sometimes I think that, I wonder sometimes if she would act this way if a camera wasn't there, you know, where some of the other women, like Angela, for instance, I think is just existing as this character. Same with Kelly. Kelly is existing as this character when the cameras are down. That's why she's the standard. And
having interviewed Kelly.
No, I would love to. I'm a Kelly defender.
I'm a Kelly defender to a degree, because I'm fair. So
yeah, of course,
I can only defend you, but so much. And I say, you know what, Diva, you're gonna have to take your lashing on this one, right? I enjoy everybody, and I think for me, what has made it enjoyable is I'm able to see the rights and wrongs in all of them. Me, and say I like them anyway. And I think that has been the best way that I've been able to navigate this show. This season and last season was just like, you know what? I love Angela down. I think she was wrong here, right? Still love her down. She's still the A. She's still the O. She's the oak. You know what I mean? Like, never going to unwavering, like never going to not love her. Or in a situation where it's like, you know what, Kelly was kind of right here, y'all. You know what I mean? Unpopular opinions at times, but I can only go based off of what I'm watching, right? And so when I see things, I'm like, I think they were right here. I think they were wrong here. Still love them down. I think that they have a group to move forward with. I think that they are now starting to build personal relationships, good or bad. I do wonder and worry, though, from what I've seen from Reunion so far, they're teetering close, dangerously close to an edge that they may not be able to come back from, and it may become unsalvageable if it continues to trend in that trajectory, right? Like, I feel like even though the reads were funny as hell, they're going to start getting nasty.
This one goes out to all my ladies, all my multitasking mamas who need energy to show up at work and at home, all my empty nest explorers who need a little gut health support for the journey ahead. AG1 is the daily health drink designed to support whole body health with over 75 essential nutrients and pre- and probiotics, so you can make the most of every day and every decade. Learn more at drinkag1.com.
And I don't want to get there, but maybe we're already here. I don't know.
That was kind of my issue with Drew for the majority of this reunion. I feel like she was just coming at a lot of this. She was kind of hitting low. I thought opening the reunion on her being like, I got my body done, but it's not leaking, was a crazy way to set the tone for the day.
I was like, whoa.
Kay has been like unreasonably hard on Drew in the press, like talking about her being a beginner in the music industry. But like, I'm sorry, Drew, like you have to just meet the shade where it's at, but like going way under the belt. And I guess her defense is that like she came for my music, like I can do anything, like I can say anything, but coming for people's bodies and then not 5 minutes later being like, we should not talk about bodies.
The whole reunion, she kept doing stuff like that. I was like, what you do?
And the editors did something shady too. They like literally were like 10 minutes ago, and it was like her sitting there being like, but I'm not leaking. I'm sorry. It's just crazy.
Can I say this? I don't know how hot we want to get it on the dumpster.
We can get hot in the dump.
I feel like she treats those girls the way Ralph treated her.
You know what? You may not be wrong about that. That's a very interesting take. I mean, I think is it Ralph or is it just people at large in general? Like, I feel like she lets a lot of people treat her in certain ways, and that's the standard of how you treat others. There has to be a reason she was attracted to Ralph, in the first place. I wonder if we don't know about her history in general, but I wonder if there's like a common theme here where it's like she doesn't totally know her own worth, and so she doesn't really respect others' worth, maybe.
Wow. I didn't put the worth part into it. Yeah. So hopefully she knows it. The faces. I never put that. I never thought about that. Yeah. Wow. That was deep. Hopefully she gets to learn it. And I think by investing in yourself and, getting the things done that you want to get nipped and tucked and all of those things, I think that is a good way to do so. Um, Wow, that was deep. I was gonna say something I forgot. That was like that really just
It took you
threw
back.
me
Well,
for a
something
loop.
else about her too is like I think there's something there somewhere, and I don't know who or why this is, but like it was rumored obviously that she like had a relationship with allegedly that woman that she filmed the chai with, and like there was like, and then she like denied it, and then this and then that, and Portia makes all these like wink wink nudge nudge jokes about she needs to finally be a lesbian or come out as bisexual or something, and she kind of denies. I think there is some shame in that somewhere in her, which is why she like won't fully lean in, and I think there's just an insecurity about maybe who she is and who she wants to be. I don't know if it's religious because I keep going back to the fact that her mom is a pastor, and I'm not putting that on her mom. It's just obviously a common thread can be that is not always appreciated in those circles, being, in the alphabet mafia.
Yeah.
But, but I don't know. I really have love for Drew. I just wish that she maybe had love for herself. I don't know.
Wow, that is deep. And first, I want to say I actually saw. I love to just dish. I actually saw Ralph one day in Neiman Marcus in Atlanta. I know why she chose him. Okay. Anyway, aesthetically pleasing is what I would say. Now
I mean,
the
he is
inside.
gorgeous. The inside is wretched, but
Oh my God. That inside. Um, but loving herself is something that I never really examined, and I think that it probably has been damaged a lot. She's been in the industry for a long time. She was married to that man that went to Tampa, didn't tell her nothing. You know what I mean? So I think that that's a spot on observation. I will say the parallels between Drew and Portia as far as their lesbian relationships are concerned, or Drew, we don't know if you have one, girl. If you say you didn't have one, I'm not gonna make you no lesbian, right? But you know, I think Portia saying that her mom was so accepting and so supportive of it, um, you know, and Drew, all them being in their 40s and up, they grew up in an era, whether religious or not, in a lot of black households, it just was not accepted at all, and to the point that where it was called like your alternative lifestyle, right? I don't know if people have heard that phrase before, but it just was not readily acceptable. So a lot of people do suppress those feelings. She's very close with her mother, and I'm sure her mother's approval means everything to her. She's a PK, right? A preacher's kid. That probably plays a lot into it. She has children. She's on a national television show. The optics are the optics. And for her, I don't know if that's her truth to live in, but if it is her truth to live in, sometimes if you've been living this lie with Ralph, right? You've been living this lie and you may not be so happy with yourself. All you've been used to is living some sort of a lie, right? And the truth is hard to step in. But once you step in the truth, it is gratifying. It is your truth. And it is not for anyone else to like or dislike. It is for you to like and dislike, and for you to figure out if this is what you want to do and what you want to have as the life that you get to architect. And so I want her to be happy. I want her to love. And I think that ultimately, if she teaches her children that love is love, right? And she teaches her family, everybody, that I am loved here, right? And this person loves me, regardless to whether you think the lifestyle is alternative or not. I'm sure that people will eventually come around because they love you. And I'm speaking from personal experience. You know, when people see how you're loved and how you respond to that love, they can't do nothing but love it. And it eventually all comes out clean in the wash. So she'll be okay, I think.
She will. She will. She absolutely will. Yeah, I agree. Oh, one thing though, back to kind of some things that you were talking about in the beginning. It is interesting, the pipeline from wrestling to housewives, right? Because it's like these divas, in full drag regalia fighting each other. It's kind of the same show.
It is, actually. It actually is the same show. There are winners and there are losers. There are good guys, bad guys. There are misunderstood people. Like, it's the same show and dance. And so I just opted out for a more entertaining one. Like, when at a certain point I got to a certain age, I was like, listen, this wrestling stuff is not cutting anymore. And then I stumbled across Jill Zarin directing a photo shoot with Allie, season 3 Real Housewives of New York. And I had a working understanding of Atlanta and OC. I watched Atlanta and OC, but New York season 3 was what got me hooked.
When you became a dumpster diva.
The dumpsterest of all divas.
Who is like our Undertaker of Bravo? Like, who's the villain? The one that always turns the corner, like, oh, there she is, ready to take us down.
When I thought of Undertaker, I was thinking of like Snatching Souls and like, I was going to say
true.
Angela Oakley read those girls so bad at the reunion this week. Oh my God. But when I think of the ultimate villain of Bravo, that wouldn't be Angela Oakley. I was just thinking of like someone who was snatching girls up left and right was Angela.
That's
right?
true. That is maybe more what that is.
Yeah, but no, if you wanted, who is the biggest villain in like Bravo history, kind of?
Yeah, I don't know. Like, who's like, because wrestling hinges on heroes and villains. Like, who is like a great villain of housewifery?
We have to say Kenya Moore. I was thinking Jill Zarin, but I felt like people just hated Jill Zarin. I don't know if she was necessarily so much of a villain. She was annoying.
She doesn't appreciate the role. I think the villain in the end has to kind of appreciate what they do, and Kenya does appreciate that. Right, that's the problem with Shamia.
I don't think that anybody wants to be the villain. I think that Kenya was like, you know what, F it. This is where I'm at. Let's crank up the heat, and did it. But I do know that there were times that she struggled with that because that didn't necessarily want to be how she was always portrayed, right? And so I do think anyone who is a villain struggles with that. But I think that throughout all of the struggle, she's super, super excelled at it. I think at one point when Bethany had that spinoff, she was like one of the worst people on television.
Yeah, she was the villain of her own show.
Yes. Wow. Right?
We don't need that much exposure. That was when we learned we didn't need that much exposure to that woman. Like, I think we learned we knew too much.
And I think she learned, okay, if I want to do this, even though I don't want to go back to the band, it's best I sing lead in a band and sing solo.
Bethany's a good example, though, of a villain, because she did appreciate the role a bit, and some would call her Greek chorus, which she was that too. But like, she did have the way she stayed on some of those women, like vehemently, was very villainous.
There was one time I really wanted to like rip her to shreds. I hope. Oh gosh, I hope that doesn't go viral. But do you know what it was when she wrung out Sonia Morgan about Tipsy Girl?
Yeah,
she was right, but geez, man,
I know. It's just like,
Sonia.
It's Sonia. She is like harmless. She's never gonna get this thing off the ground. Love and light.
It's the toaster oven of cocktails. Like, it's fine. You don't have to go that hard. She went off on her.
I know, off. Well, back to the reunion a little bit. A couple moments that were popping out. One was back to Drew for just a second. You know, she talks a little bit about Black, and I didn't know about all these like rumors around the streets about Black and the scandals and the hookah lounges and everything. But hearing Kay, well, Drew saying they've never hooked up, Black and her, and Kay said he never poked a hoe, and I actually fell out laughing. But tell me do you know about these scandals? I feel like you have to. Your boots on the ground with the scandals.
Well, I have a working knowledge of it. I don't know like the all of the nooks and the crannies of it, but he's been accused of basically, I hate to say the S word. I do not like saying that. But allegedly scamming multiple Black women in business ventures out of money and things like that. Business deals gone bad, those type of things. Like I said, I'm not super privy or familiar to the inner workings of it because I really have a barrier around myself to where I try not to get too icky and too like in it. You know what I mean? But they are definitely unsavory things that were said about them. There are there's a woman who did a report with a well-known blog and aired him out. And so the information is definitely out there if you want to know what he's being accused of. The information is out there for sure. And when I saw that, I was just thinking like, Drew.
Well, I know, but I think there's something in her that I'm like, of course you ended up with a scammer because Ralph was a scammer. Can we free ourselves from the scams? Please, doll. We got to.
Oh, I want the best for you, sister.
I know. I really do, honestly. We also, she talks about, Kelly was talking, back to the body conversation. Kelly was talking about how the only thing she had done with her boobs, and I have to give it to Drew. I did laugh when Drew said, well, you should get them undone.
I was like, but when I heard Andy bust out laughing, I just started screaming laughing. Like,
oh, he loves
Andy,
these girls.
These are his girls. This is the group. I still think I would like to see, it's hot, it is what it is, a Nene in a friend role, a Candy in a friend role, or a Kenya in a friend role, because or even a Sheree. She refuses to take that friend role, but I do think that there is someone needed to hold the girls accountable on both sides.
This one goes out to all my ladies, all my multitasking mamas who need energy to show up at work and at home. All my empty nest explorers who need a little gut health support for the journey ahead. AG1 is the daily health drink designed to support whole body health with over 75 essential nutrients and pre- and probiotics. So you can make the most of every day and every decade. Learn more at drinkag1.com.
Best thing that's ever happened to you financially. Go.
Easy. Sold my car on Carvana. Amazing offer.
Really? I hit 200 on the scratcher.
Did the scratcher come to your house and hand you a check?
No.
How many scratchers did you hit to get that? I hit a button on Carvana.com once.
Okay, that's fair.
It's like the lottery, except you always win.
Not like the lottery at all, actually.
Exactly. Inexplicably good. Offers worth bragging about. Sell your car today on Carvana. Pickup fees may apply.
Hey, it's Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. Now, I was looking for fun ways to tell you that Mint's offer of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month is back. So I thought it would be fun if we made $15 bills. But it turns out that's very illegal. So there goes my big idea for the commercial. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
And not
I
on
agree.
a team.
Sometimes it feels like there's something missing. Just one little ingredient.
And that's the ingredient for me that's missing. And I don't think that anyone new could come in and do that. I think it would have to be someone who knows the girls from the beginning, long-standing relationships, friends with everybody, so that way when they do hold people accountable, they do run back the mess. It doesn't appear that they're taking sides. They're just keeping it real and calling balls and strikes. And I don't think we had anybody calling balls and strikes this season. And that's what made it kind of not a fair watch for me. this season.
That makes sense. It's kind of like the season for Talls versus the Smalls, right? There's like a clear split.
But Candy was in the middle calling balls and strikes. You know what I mean?
That's true. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need a bridge. I think Nene in a friend role would be inspired. I do have a theory that like she won't be cast initially on this next season, but I think she'll end up showing up towards like the end of filming, or like crash the cast trip, or like you remember how she crashed the Puerto Rico trip,
Jamaica.
Or Jamaica, yeah.
Yeah.
Like I just feel like she'll crash a trip and they'll like reintegrate her into the show. That's kind of the vibe I'm getting, because I do think she's ready to return after the energy she brought to Ultimate Girls Trip, even just on that one episode. I think she's ready to be back on these shows.
Listen, I don't think Andy wants anything to do with her still. I don't care what he says. I'm not changing. The body language, the way that the comment is laid, it's PR as possible. It's gritting my teeth. I'm so happy she's back, right? And I think the way that we get around that, so that they have as minimal contact as possible until they're ready to have that sit down and come to a real full resolution on this, if ever, is to have her be a friend. Maybe she gets confessionals. She does not have to go to Watch What Happens Live. And she's involved in some way. The fans want it. The people want it. And I think that the NBC Bravo, like that camp, is figuring out ways to keep Nene tethered to the company, that may not necessarily directly involve her being involved with the brand, to keep those two apart from each other. Because if not, there is Nene available, there's Candy available, there's Sheree available, there's Marlo available, there's Kim available, there's Lisa Wu available, there is so many girls available. I just had to say Lisa Wu, because if you don't,
Lisa Wu is the bridge we need. Bring Lisa Wu in.
if you don't say Lisa Wu, as you guys will find out in about 2 weeks, if you don't mention Lisa Wu, all hell's going to break loose, right? And so, but all of those girls are available. And if the Golden Life does well, more places are going to come knocking. Netflix is there.
That's a good point. I didn't really think about that.
So they're trying to figure out a way. I feel like they want to keep her tethered in some kind of a way to the company, but not necessarily the brand, because I still don't think Andy really sees it for her. You know, I think it deeply hurt him, the things that she said. And though he encourages the housewives to be able to move forward from certain issues that are probably things that you wouldn't, he right now is unable to do that with Nene. So,
yeah, I think that I was talking, I don't know if this was on my show or I was guesting on someone else's recently, and I was talking about how I think that it's clear he's built a boundary with all of Bravo talent since that moment. I think there's like a shift in the way he interacts with people since that blow up, because I just think he realized that he was a little too close to a lot of them, and it just created, it's hard to go from friend to boss and then boss to friend. And inevitably, especially when you're dealing with networks, and networks are inherently probably a bit racist because they're run by a bunch of rich ass old white men. Like, there's going to be some stuff that happens. And when your friend then has to be the communicator of what those people are saying and becomes your boss again, all of a sudden, like, it's tough. Like, how do you, I can't imagine having to like be on Nene's side of it. And then I also can't imagine having to be Andy trying to like talk to these women like they're his friends, when in reality he knows if their check is going to stop hitting.
And honestly, Tom, I didn't mean to cut you off, but I'm not going to sit here and act like Nene wasn't a monster.
Yeah, she the last 3 seasons she was on, it was tough stuff.
She was going through a lot in her life though as well.
I agree, and that's what I think she needs to be a friend of, because I don't think she needs to share all of that anymore. I think she's done enough. I talked with Ira Madison on here a couple weeks ago about how Like, we forget how much she shared about her life. Like, we knew everything. Like, she shared everything about those boys. She shared everything about Greg. Like, she does deserve to not have to do that anymore. I think she's laid that groundwork. But it is why we all fell in love with her, was because that she wasn't just like a meme. She wasn't just like a funny moment. She was like real. She really shared so much. And then when she started to close off and get kind of bring ego to the table was when we started to get, turn on her. But I think Friend of is the right path forward for her.
Before we move back into reunion, she shared some advice with me. I was going to do this show. At one point, I really wanted to be on TV, child. I was going to do this show called Finding My Father, which they did do on Oxygen. And I asked her for some advice, and she told me, don't do it. She said that the season 1 storyline with her and her dad and all of that stuff was one of her biggest regrets, and that she wishes she never would have done it because it imploded her family unit as she knew it. And so she was like, child, don't do that show. You know what I mean? And it was like, I don't know her or anything to that degree. Like, she just gave me some advice. I asked her, she had a pop-up shop, and I came, and we were talking, and she signed back then the Housewives were not streaming yet, they have DVDs. She signed my Housewives DVD, and we were talking, and I told her about the show, and she was like, don't do it. And I didn't do it. So.
Yeah, I think that's good advice. I do think there is a boundary of sharing too much and also bringing in the family. Like, I can't believe Portia brought in all of her family to that special she did.
I don't even think she wants to say, we don't talk about Bruno. She does not want to talk about that special, okay?
We do not talk about that show.
Oh my gosh, when it was on.
Do you think that Shamia was being shady when she said Happy Pride?
Yes.
Absolutely.
But
right?
I don't think she was being homophobic.
I don't think so either, but like, she has to admit that there was shade built into that.
It was definitely shade. It was shade in the. I guess Portia's just dating. I guess she's dating a girl today, child. Portia's flighty. She, go with the wind, like that kind of thing. Like, you know what I mean? It was like, child, Happy Pride, I guess. You know what I mean? You'll be with somebody tomorrow, like that, right?
Right.
That's how I took it. I know that there were people that were saying that's homophobic. If it's homophobic, I will say that I feel that for me. For me, I didn't take it as that.
Yeah, I didn't really take it as that either. I think that she just doesn't. Once again, she can't stand in the villainry if she wants to do that. She can't stand in the shade that she throws.
Throw your shade. I mean,
do it.
Buy everybody a Birkin except for one. Like, give us, girl. Throw your shade, Shamia.
Own your shade, please.
Let me tell you, right? Last season, I was so upset with Shamia not because she was revealing alliances and plots and ploots and pleats and all that stuff. Not because of that stuff. I was like, they are tearing your ass up. Say something. I'm not going to say anything out of respect. They don't respect you right now. Tear their ass back. I could not for the life of me believe that.
I know, and then the only reads she could ever get together was like Angela and her big ass feet, and I'm like, is that all you have in the arsenal?
We have not gotten to the cease and desist, but I will say this: I do think this season. Gosh, I don't want people to hate my guts. I think Shamia won with Angela this season, y'all. I do.
Well, Angela didn't have great facts behind her.
Because it wasn't the reading portion, right? I'm not saying that she outread Angela. I would be a lie up here right now. I would be lying.
Yeah.
That was not it. When it came to the facts, right? And then the girl is on the phone saying, you did ask me, after Angela said, well, it's a figment of your imagination and all that stuff. And that part doesn't necessarily get addressed. The whether George said it or not, it pivoted into that. It was like, oh no, sis, I think she got you here, right? And it didn't get brought up on camera. Shamia brought it up on camera, and you fell right into the trap. You know what I mean? And then even with the cease and desist, I understand why people are upset about a cease and desist, right? I get it. But a cease and desist, as far as I know, and I'm not above correction, right? I can be corrected, right? But as far as I know, a cease and desist isn't saying, you better not say anything else about this. I interpret it as, this is not true. If you say anything else about it, I'm going to pursue legal action. So if it is true that she was sleeping with NBA players and NFL players, in the words of Sutton Strack, name them. If you can't name them, then obviously you knew you were doing what, Tom? Lying. And to me, at first when I heard it, I was like, oh my gosh, Shamia, why are you doing this? But then when I thought about it, I was like, oh, she's forcing her hand here, right? Because if I knew who it was and I had verifiable facts, speaking for me, and I knew what I was talking about, and I know for a fact that you slept with Michael Jordan, I'm going to say, Michael Jordan, take me to court. Do you want to take me to court and you know I'm telling the truth? No, you do not.
Wait, didn't Drew say she was Michael Jordan's cousin? Who was it? Someone
She said that like yesterday. She just said that on Monday, and I was going to post it, but I was like, I'm tired. She said that they are researching to look into whether or not her and Michael Jordan are cousins. I think she probably was joking, but I don't know.
She has a team. She has a team working on it because she has a team of 10 behind her, Drew.
She loves the team. She loves the team.
She has a researcher on that team.
Yeah, I have to give Drew her props, though. She was one of the first Real Housewives that gave No Chaser TV a podcast interview, and it made the reunion last season. And so
Congrats on
she
that.
got up there and she said,
I said congrats on that.
Yeah. There was a portion in the reunion where they asked Drew about calling Portia a flop and a try hard. And it was on my podcast. She said it. And then her and Portia got into it, right? And so I want to thank her for showing up always. I don't take that for granted. You know what I mean? But Drew is what was Erica Jane's tagline? She was a riddle or something like that, wrapped in something.
Wrapped in a riddle and cash.
Yeah. I don't know about the cash part, but she's a nigga wrapped in a riddle. I actually think Drew has money. I don't think Drew's broke.
I think she has money. I just think she, once again, has a team that she needs to dwindle down.
Oh, yes. But we want to see more of that team, though. It was a hot mess.
It was a good scene they filmed, that scene. What are your thoughts on Kay? We haven't really talked about Kay that much on this. She talks a lot about her insecurities with her man, and I thought she revealed some crazy shit about that relationship. But what's your feelings at large about her as a housewife and how she fits into this group?
I think that she's getting better. I thought the last 2 episodes of the season was phenomenal work by Kay Michelle. Her being honest with Shamia and girl, why would you say that? You know what I mean? That is what a friend is supposed to do. It's supposed to call you when they feel that you did something wrong without the friendship imploding. I am confused by a lot of things by her. I understand things more than most do with her, right? Does she fit in the group? I think she's fitting. I think the last 2 episodes in this reunion are starting to see her get her groove within a Housewives format and a mold. And so I'm not as against it as some are now because we're at the end of the season. But when people say they're confused, I get it. When people say they're not excited about it, I get it. I just am willing to let her grow in this space. I say, give me one more season and see what she does. If it doesn't work, then sashay away. She's another enigma wrapped in a riddle.
Yeah, I agree. But you know what? I just think she misunderstood the assignment on initial filming. And then as the show went on, she started to get it. And then I think as the show aired, she finally was like, oh, I think I know how to do this now and I'll bring it better next season, because Andy seems to really, really, really like her. I think he really sees it for her on this show. She's gotta stay out of the comment section and she's gotta stay off that damn Twitter.
It's never going to happen, Tom.
I
She has literally
know.
been doing this since Love and Hip Hop. It is never going to happen. But Love and Hip Hop, there's a lot of conflict and no resolution. And I think that they're used to, and I'll be honest with you, her viewpoint is not unlike a lot of people's. It's just on the Real Housewives, that is not the way that this goes. It is completely unrealistic for someone to say the things that they say to each other and then look for resolution at the end of the day. At the end of the day, we're a sisterhood and we're collective and we come together. No, in the real world, if you spoke to me like that, what would be coming together is my foot in your ass. Like, are you crazy? You cannot say those things to me, right? You can't speak to me in this way. You can't do these things to me and then think at the end of the day, we're just going to come together and be buddies and pals because we're friends. It's not realistic. However, Real Housewives is not realistic either. You know what I mean? And so when you're in the Housewives mode, this is what we watch the show for. And, this is what it is. And so when you're here, I think when people try to apply real world tendencies to reality television, even though it is reality television, it does not translate well because it's not. Like, for example, Portia inviting Shamia to her house, episode 1 this season. Do we think Portia wanted that girl at her house?
This one goes out to all my ladies, all my multitasking mamas who need energy to show up at work and at home, all my empty nest explorers who need a little gut health support for the journey ahead. AG1 is the daily health drink designed to support whole body health with over 75 essential nutrients and pre- and probiotics, so you can make the most of every day and every decade. Learn more at drinkag1.com.
Hi, Ryan Reynolds here for Mint Mobile. Are you looking for a beach read this summer? May I suggest your big wireless bill? It's got suspense, mystery, a slightly flat, emotional arc, and a shocking twist where you realize you've been overpaying the entire time. Fortunately, though, Mint's story is better. Every plan, $15 a month. Even unlimited. That's it. Happy ending. Zero tears. Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12-month plan required. $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. See terms.
No. Which is why when Shamia turned around and didn't invite Portia to Gerald's event, that was Shamia operating in real world ideology. Girl, we're not friends. You're not coming to my house, right? However, Shamia looked horrible because this is Real Housewives. And now Shamia, whether you believe that the olive branch was genuine or not, Portia extended it to you by inviting you to her home. So I can see how it would be a difficult transition at first. Now that she knows the game, you know better, you do better. So hopefully she does better next season, because if not, I'm not going to deal with it.
I think she will. I feel
I think she
confident
will
that
too, though.
she can. I think she with her being closer with Phaedra now, and also her I think getting to a better place with Portia. I think they're in a better place now post reunion. Like, I think she has enough people behind her that are like guiding her in the right direction for this show. I also think she's just not used to being on a show where there's any sense of like camaraderie. Like, I don't think Love and Hip Hop has the same amount of like ensemble feel, you know?
There may be friendships. At one point, the girls were kind of close at the beginning of it, but that didn't last that long, and there was no true. You have to want a resolution to have one. You have to seek understanding. And I think at that point, if you go back, I don't know if K. Michelle was seeking understanding. She was tearing those girls up. And the girl, God, I don't want to say that about those women, so I won't say that. But the show, the fabric and the DNA is just completely different. And I think that she realized that she is amongst women. She's used to being the most accomplished in the room, and these women, whether you like them or not, whether they are currently on top of the mountain or at the bottom of the hill, they are all accomplished or have accomplished things in their own right, each and every one of them, to varying degrees. And so you're sitting around a bunch of bosses now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And Yeah, I think she also was surprised at the reach the show has. I think that has baffled her. I don't think she understood how big the show really was, especially, and Taria was on last week chatting with me about this, but like, especially the grasp that a black show has in a white space, where Love and Hip Hop was not reaching that demographic as much as Atlanta continues to do. So,
Yeah, and that's the one. We didn't really plot this episode, so I'm going to hold it to the plot, but I have an issue with it. Why not? My issue is if Phaedra, Drew, and Portia were part of the plot, why is Phaedra being so quickly exonerated?
Yeah. It's a valid, very valid question. And your brain does go places. I mean, here's the thing. Like, Taria said this last week, and we talked about it a lot, so we can talk about it a little bit. Again, like, I don't know what the relationship is like with, like, garnering a white audience, but, like, it's worth noting that, like, Kay said that she was very baffled by the amount of white women that stopped Phaedra at the airport, right? And then she said, now I have white women stopping me at the airport. And it's almost like there's something in that she finds like fascinating and that she wants to like cling to. And I don't know, there's conversations happening around this with not me, with not a white person with a mic. So like listen to those people, not me. But I think it's an interesting perspective to have on these shows because we've never really seen that come into play on Atlanta.
I'll say this. That is something that she's a music artist as well, but that has been ingrained since forever and ever. You know, it was one thing to play the black audience or the chitlin circuit, as they would call it, but it was another thing to cross over because you cross over from the chitlin circuit to the nice nightclubs and the Ed Sullivan shows and this and that. And so there's always been a level of white acceptance because honestly, being white has been the standard that has been pushed in America and abroad forever, right? And so that is where that comes from. That is something that has been ingrained. If you watch Dreamgirls, you saw what happened. And they wanted to step into the bad side and cross over to the pop chart so they can go ahead and get that mainstream money, the mainstream likability, the mainstream factor. And even in networks, they have always built things off the backs of black and minority POC audiences. Fox's original slate was a hit was Martin, Living Single, which people feel like Living Single. Friends is a derivative of Living Single and copied them to a large degree. A lot of people feel that way. I have not watched the entirety of Friends, so I can't speak to that. I did enjoy what I watched, though, but there's a big feeling about that. But there's Martin, Living Single, and then there was a show called New York Undercover, and Fox had In Living Color, and all of those shows, predominantly black shows, and Fox came to prominence. And once they got to a certain level, all of those shows are canceled in the late 90s, and from there, it switched over. The WB, which became the CW, was built off of the Steve Harvey Show, the Wayans Brothers, et cetera, et cetera. UPN was built off of Moesha, Girlfriends, et cetera, et cetera. And those shows that we have that we say, we have these shows that we can look forward to. And once the network hits a certain plateau and is at a certain height with those shows, they are yanked away from us and replaced by all white shows. I love white people, so I don't have nothing against white people, right? Or else I wouldn't be here, right? But
talking to me.
I'm just saying. No, I'm just saying. I just want to be clear, right?
No. You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, these are the facts. And so when K. Michelle says that as she's pushing a country album and the way that black artists have been treated in country music, arguably a genre that many feel that we created and pioneered and was taken away from us, right? And then we were ousted and treated as outcasts in things that we created. The white gaze and the white acceptance that it looks like she may be seeking, though it is hard to digest, I do understand why she may be doing that because she's in a genre that is super hard, and so she does need white listeners to listen to her music and accept her music. When
Mm-hmm.
honestly, if she just put the music out and it was great music, people will accept it anyway. I.e., certain artists that have crossed over without even trying.
Yeah. No, that's perfectly said. It reminds me of the conversation that was happening this week. I don't know if you saw it with Carlos King and Dustin Ross, where they were talking about who put Housewives on the map, the conversation around like what franchise really put it there. And I loved this conversation. Guys, go look at the clip. It's circulating a lot. And, Carlos brings up a great point where he's like, Atlanta put Housewives on the map. Like, Atlanta did it. People have these conversations about OC versus New York, OC versus New York. But Atlanta has set a standard for reality television making in that first season of Housewives that elevated all the shows behind it and ahead of it. And like none of the white shows after it would have even like existed without the hard work that Nene, Sheree, and the rest of the gang put in there on those first two seasons of Atlanta. And it is interesting now where people are noting this, like we are seeing a lot of Black media being ripped out of programming on Bravo, on other networks. Black reality television is not as prominent as it was even, I would say, like 8 years ago, like in our TV lineups now. And it has to be indicative of a larger movement, unfortunately, happening in this country right now. But like, it's definitely interesting to see that right now our two Black reality shows that are in existence across, honestly, most networks at large are just Potomac and Atlanta Housewives.
Yeah, I want to give an honorable mention to Married to Medicine as well, but that's
and
why I
Married to
was
Medicine. I'm
saying
so sorry, that too.
it's okay. That's why I was saying what I was saying earlier about the networks and how they built the new networks that came in, used Black audiences to build, and then they crossed over or transitioned, right? Um, Atlanta pioneered what Real Housewives became. I think that even if I want to go and give honorable mentions to White Housewives, they kind of changed the trajectory of their shows. Tamara Judge changed the trajectory of OC. Did you go to Bass Lake? You know what I mean? That changed OC forever. Ramona Singer having a hissy fit, when Simon showed up, changed the game for them. But Atlanta came in, and if you watch OC in the early days, because I remember Joe, and that OC was not so much about the ensemble. It was about a group of women who lived in the area. And Gina and Vicky, right, were cool like that. And maybe Lori, but it wasn't really about the ensemble. It was about how these individual women navigate their fabulous lives and their children or wanting children, their marriages, the ups and the downs, their husbands' careers, how they support them. It wasn't so much about the ensemble. And Atlanta came in out of the gate that first episode and blew everything out of the water and changed and pioneered the Real Housewives format. I also want to give an honorable mention. I remember that table flip being so huge, mainstream everywhere, like news. I remember they would do those supercut episodes where that episode had an episode in itself, and they just kept playing her, lifted the table up for like 5 minutes over and over again. You know what I mean? But when we talk about who pioneered it, OC was like a if you know, you know kind of show. Like me and my homegirl watched OC, right? Because we love Joe and we love Don. We love Joe and Don, so we watched, right? And then we watched Joe's spinoff, which is like crazy. But we did watch Joe's spinoff. Like,
Yeah,
Joe
she had
was
a
a big
dating
deal,
show,
right?
guys. Never forget.
Yeah, Joe was our girl, right? So anyway, we watched it, but I remember going to work and people talking about, Nene being left off the list, or the next season when, Sheree tugged on Kim's wig. People were at my job talking about this, and I don't remember that being any other housewives anywhere. Like I said, it was if you know, you know. And I never even watched New York until I stumbled across it season 3, and then went back and did a rewatch. Right, so it was definitely Atlanta. There's no denying it. There's no way around it. We thank the girls for doing what they did, but if Atlanta didn't come in and it wasn't really that group of friends like Sheree, Nene, Kim, and Deshaun Snow were a group of friends. And then Lisa got added. So I'm not omitting Lisa, but Lisa was definitely added by production last minute, right? But that group was just dynamite, dynamic, and no one can ever take that away from them.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Chase, this was such a great chat. I had such a great time chatting here with you today. Like, I feel like we really get into the humor, but then we talk about the real stuff too. I really appreciate that back and forth.
Absolutely. I love it. I loved the reunion. I'm going to say, I feel like Drew maybe had the funniest moment with the undone or the undo 'em. I want to give honorable mention to Kelly because she made me laugh. When Drew called her Shakelly and she called, okay, Pete Willie, with the Pete Willie special Podruski, and then the camera cuts to Portia and Portia is trying not to laugh. Your op. You have your op.
I know. She's trying so hard.
She was trying so hard not to laugh. But Angela, honorable mention to K. Michelle too. K had some good ones. But Angela, good grief, man. She was just rattling them.
When she said to Shamia, when she said to Kelly, what are you going to start frying chicken in Shamia's house? I said, I cannot believe we've gone here.
I would have said, if I was Kelly, yes.
I'm a part of Shamia's team now.
Somebody's got to fry this chicken. By the way, interviewed Kelly at Nana's Chicken and Waffles.
It's good.
It's good eating.
Yeah, I've heard it's great food there.
That food is fucking amazing, guys. And yeah. I hope that what Angela said is not true about her restaurant, because that is a travesty. That food is amazing.
Yeah, I've heard it's great. Also, Kelly had our button on the episode because Andy says, we're going to take a break for a second because we're going to bring Cynthia out. And Kelly goes, not Cynthia getting to sleep in.
She's funny. She's funny, guys. Admit it. She's funny.
I agree. I am here being a convert to Team Kelly.
She is hilarious.
She is. Well, Chase, tell everyone where they can follow you, support you, and check out all of your amazing content.
Thank you. So we're No Chaser TV everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, Threads, Facebook. Our Facebook community is like, people don't we're almost at 150,000 followers on Facebook. So
go off.
I know, I think people just discovered us on Instagram, but we started on TikTok. We're almost at 40,000 on TikTok. X is doing well. Instagram has opened us up. We've officially crossed over to the pop charts, now that we're on Instagram. But
step into the bad side.
You better give a vocal time. Yes.
Yes.
We're going to light some candles tonight.
Let's do it.
Very special. Ooh,
very special.
You're very, very special. Okay, anyway. And so, but yeah, Facebook's done well. And then, of course, on YouTube, you guys, and on our podcast that we have called In the Lounge, we have a good time. And I love the social media aspect of No Chaser TV because it is straight. There's no opinion. There's no influence. This is what it is. No sides are taken. And the people in our comment sections that we call the lounge, you guys have your say on it. But on the YouTube and the podcast, me and our panel of guests, hosts, and everything, we have our say on it. And so if you want to know what we think about what's going on, you can come catch us there. Hopefully we can have Tom on and all of the Dumpster Divas. Did I do well on my first Diva? Am I coming back? That's good. How did that do?
You did great. Chase, you did great. And listeners, I know that they will all absolutely love you. So yeah, go support Chase. And guys, we'll be back later this week with even more recaps and gossip. Chase, say bye to everyone listening. Bye, y'all. Now, I wanted to give a big shout out to all of my Patreon members who continue to support the show on the Trash Philanthropist level. That is the $15 tier. We have Dad. That's my father. Marion. That's my mother. Andrew, Barbara, Kayla, Andrew, Brandon, and Wendy. Thank you guys so much for all of your continued support of the show. I love you so much. And I will see y'all for some more recaps this week. Bye.
Hey, Troy and Kelly here, and we are the hosts of Beyond the Blinds podcast, where you'll get all your celebrity gossip needs.
We'll take you beyond the celebrity blinds and dive deeper into the dark side of Hollywood.
This podcast is full of scandal, intrigue, and gossip surrounding your favorite celebrities.
Listen now on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Don't be rotted.
Are you looking for a new favorite podcast? Are you looking for a podcast about movies? Are you looking for a podcast that strictly covers 80s, 90s, 2000s movies? Are you looking for a podcast that's going to be doing movies like So I Married an Axe Murderer, Hot Tub Time Machine, Grandma's Boy, and Ghost? Well, then you just found it. Tune in to The Confused Breakfast wherever you get your podcasts.
Has anyone ever said to you, it's just a TV show? That's when you know it's time to cut them out of your life. If you don't think it's just a TV show, you'll probably love my podcast, She's Speaking with Emily Hanks, and it's available everywhere you get your podcasts.
Welcome to Bravo's Most Wanted, a new podcast hosted by Bravo celebrity Katie Janela and Bravo hot take queen Jamie Rice. From housewives drama to the messiest Bravo and pop culture moments, nothing's off limits and no one is safe. Spicy opinions, insider perspective, and conversations others might be too afraid to have. Follow Bravo's Most Wanted wherever you get your podcasts.
Can I be a bitch for a second? Hey, I'm Raven James, host of the Bitches Better podcast. Join me each week as I dive into the latest in reality TV and pop culture. It's like gossiping with your best friend over a glass of wine. No filter and all the fun. And of course, I've got some personal stories to spill too. So settle in and let's chat.